Good morning. I'm meteorologist John Marshall updating you on the dangerous now Category 5 Hurricane Irma. Folks, this storm is intensifying rapidly and has done so over the last several hours just east of the islands. Take a look at this buzzsaw we see. It is a classic textbook hurricane in meteorology that is moving to the west at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Folks, this storm, again, a Category 5, the most extreme category on the Saffir-Simpson scale. So it means business. It's incredibly dangerous. And it's located, again, I'm going to show you the islands right here. Here is the island of Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, and the chain coming down. So these are the Leeward Islands. The storm is tracking due west. You don't have to be a meteorologist to look at this system and say, wow, this thing has the potential for disaster. And we're very concerned about the islands over the northeastern portion of the Lesser Antilles as this storm, with an eye of 20 nautical miles in diameter and winds sustained at 175 miles an hour. So this is, again, the most powerful storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale. We have to watch this thing very closely, and I know there's been a lot of talk over the last 5 days about the track. In my eyes, it's just too premature back then to talk about it. Now, within that 5 to 6 day range of trying to hone in on a track and where this storm will actually go. But again, a powerful central dense overcast around this ring of fire that is heading toward Antigua, Barbuda, which I have been to those islands, and Godspeed to those people there. It is just flat, absolutely gorgeous. And the thing about this is we're lucky enough to have planes that fly into these storms. And take a look right now. There is a plane, and this is as of, what time is it? About 9:45 in the morning. The Hurricane Hunter, there's the plane. There's the eye, the 20 nautical mile eye of that storm. It is making a cross section, and that's the path that it's been taking. It analyzes each storm for about, let's say, an hour, maybe 2 hours, and gives the Hurricane Center data, incredibly real-time data. The pressure is down to about 930, 929. But what is more incredible, and you can't see this legend because it's off my screen right now, but this is the highest level of winds that this computer graphic puts out. These are winds in excess of 137 knots, which translates to Category 5 strength. This shade right there, really can't describe the color, but I'm pointing to it. Okay, take my word for it. So there are Category 5 winds in this eye, or just outside, in the eye wall, the most dangerous part. And the thing about this hurricane, if I go back to the loop, it is expanding in size, and its wind field continues to expand. So continues to grow in size. The wind field expansion is happening, and the storm continues to move to the west. So what is in store in the immediate future? Hurricane warnings are in effect, again, as I said, for Antigua, Barbuda, Nevis, those islands there, beautiful Anguilla. Folks, if you've ever been in these areas, absolutely beautiful. The Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, now in a hurricane warning. Hurricane conditions are imminent within the next 36 hours. They've been through this drill, but it's been some time since they've seen a powerful hurricane of this nature affect the northeastern portion of the Caribbean islands. Hurricane watch is in effect for the Dominican Republic. Okay, this thing is moving to the west. Will it track right over these islands? Or will it skim the north shore of these islands? Time will tell. But let's take a look at the track of this thing. And basically it does show, this is the National Hurricane Center track, in the next couple of days as a strong Category 4 or 5, perilously close to the islands, as we mentioned. North of Puerto Rico, skimming the northeast coast. It's a possibility, folks. The cone of error expands as you go out in time. Obviously, this is meteorology. As you go out 4 or 5 days, the forecast accuracy, and I agree to this, obviously decreases. That's why I never give you a 10-day forecast like some stations do. Really? So let's take a look. North of the islands, there's the track of cone and of uncertainty near Cuba, and then by Saturday night, Sunday morning, somewhere in the vicinity or just off the coast of southern Florida. Florida, you need to worry about this storm. The big question is, when does it take a hook to the north? Well, the area of high pressure has been significant and strong in steering Irma to the west. It will begin to push out that area of high pressure, meaning it will allow it to curve a little bit to the west-northwest, and then that area of high pressure will lose its influence on the storm, and the storm will kind of get caught in a no man's land. The steering currents will be very weak. So basically, I'm going to show you the European model, and on the computer models, this is what we call a spaghetti plot. Literally. I've shown this on TV. I mean, it's just the way to go, because 51 ensemble tracks in this European ensemble. And the European, obviously, is a stellar model. It has its faults as well. It's not going to give you an accurate landfall prediction. It nailed Sandy. So here are the 51 spaghetti plots, like somebody threw a plate of spaghetti down, and it really hones in concise track just north of the islands. But when it gets to the southern tip of Florida, where does it go? The high pressure loses influence. Steering currents are weak. Does it go over the peninsula and ride inland the peninsula from, let's say, the beginning of the Keys and ride to Orlando? Possibility. Does it stay off the west coast of Florida? Possibility. Does it ride, not even hit Florida, and hit the Bahamas? And unfortunately, the Bahamas, you are in the track of this thing. We're going to monitor the situation, but the Bahamas, especially the southern chain, Turks and Caicos, you'll probably go into a hurricane watch in the next 24 hours. Again, I'm just trying to be optimistic here for you guys, but it does not look good. Does it ride up to the east and stay off the coast of Florida? We're certain that the storm, pretty much so, will ride just north shore of the islands or just inland. It may weaken a little if it hits any of those land masses. Some of those mountainous peaks on those islands are up there, so it can rip apart the storm a little bit. But if it stays off the coast of those islands and in the bathwater of 85 to 90 degree water temperatures, it will maintain its Category 5 or Category 4 status. Again, Florida, it comes right about to the southern coast. You can't even see the state because all these lines are on there. So this is the European. I'm going to show you some hurricane tracks. And what we'll see here is these are the tropical tracks. All pretty much concise. And then what happens here when it gets to southern Florida? Saturday night into Sunday early morning. Does it go to the west? Does it ride right up the coast? Does it ride inland? Or does it ride offshore? Florida, it's hurricane season. Prepare. You always need to. Obviously, with what happened with Harvey, everything is heightened. And obviously, it should be now because we're getting closer and closer to time to when this thing will be off the southern coast of Florida. Saturday night, Sunday morning. Then what? Does it ride up the East Coast? Does the New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, the metropolitan area get any remnants? It's a possibility. Does it just go inland and spin off the southeastern, inland southeast Piedmont and kind of die out? That's a possibility as well. What is certain is we have a Category 5 hurricane with winds of 175 miles an hour approaching the islands. I'm going to monitor this situation. We're going to take it to your 5-day forecast here in the New York City area and show you that basically today is the last warm day. This is for our area. 85 degrees. Spotty showers and thunderstorms tonight. The front stalls. It cools down. We get into the lower 70s for Wednesday with on and off showers. Not a complete washout, but it won't be a stellar day. It will be wet. You'll need your umbrella. Thursday morning, some scattered showers to some sun, 73. Friday, a fine close to the shortened work week. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. And for Saturday into the weekend around here, huge area high pressure sits over the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And it gives us a gorgeous weekend with temperatures within a few degrees of 70. Obviously, we'll continue to update you on extremely dangerous Category 5 Hurricane Irma, and you can always get an updated forecast at www.johnmarshallweather.com. Have a great day. Enjoy this warm weather here. Let's think about the people that will be affected by this major hurricane, Category 5, with winds of 175 miles an hour for the northeastern portion of the Leeward Islands. Another update to follow. Stay tuned. Take care.